These 30 minutes of power are specifically here to help you get unstuck.
It's not good to be comfortable, and you should always strive for your best, right?
So I left. You had to know it before she knew Jesus. We can be whatever we want to be because we have Jesus? What? All right, now, real quick, I want to talk to my aspiring authors here today. If you've ever said, I want to write a book, but I don't know where to start, then listen up. I'm hosting a live writing masterclass this Sunday, and this is your opportunity to stop waiting and start writing. In this session, we're going to map out your book and get crystal clear on your specific message. You're going to take the first step toward making your book a reality. So if you're ready to invest in your dream and finally take action, then head over to jorioneale.com/your_story_matters. Click the link below in the show notes, and I'll see you inside. Let's get your book out of your head and onto the page. I'll see you there. Welcome back to another lovely episode of 30 Minutes of Power, TOP, your one-stop shop for all things encouraging, entertaining, motivational. I think today we're going to be a little inspirational, and we're going to share the why behind a couple of things that we got going on. It's your girls, Jori O'Neale, Nicole Salter. We are encouraged and excited to be on this journey with you all. I think it's surreal to me that we are on episode number 98. This is episode number 98. So we are 2 episodes away from our 100th episode, and that is when things are kind of cemented in the podcast universe. When you get to 100 episodes, it is a testament to your resilience, but also the fact that you didn't give up. And so today we're going to share some of the whys as to why we've shifted things in our lives, shifted some things, maybe even in our marriages, but especially in regards to our entrepreneurship. In case this is your first time tuning in to 30 Minutes of Power, welcome. We are excited to have you here. Of the two of us, Nicole is much more hospitable than I am. I can say that it's real. But this podcast is specifically for those of you who may feel stuck. You may feel stuck in your relationship with God. You may feel stuck in your writing journey. You may feel stuck even in your marriage. But these 30 minutes of power are specifically here to help you get unstuck, to move you as two women who have been poured into, encouraged, and empowered by the communities that we have around us. We want to kind of be that community for you. We want to support you and help you shift from this place of stuckness to a place of being unstuck. So if you've ever wondered what the heck is 30 Minutes of Power about, looking at what people say that they've gotten from this podcast, because it was like, all right, we're starting a podcast and it's going to be to encourage and motivate and educate and all the things, all the eights, right? But the one thing that we continue to hear listeners share with us is how we've helped them move from lack of clarity to clarity, how we help them move from feeling overwhelmed to less stress and more peace, right? And so this place is where you get unstuck. So in the 30 minutes that we have today, we're going to help share some of the things and the reasons behind why we do what we do, how we're doing it this year in 2025, because it looks a lot different than it did last year, for sure. And hopefully you glean from what we share and allows you to use some of the practicals, some of the mindset tricks and tips that you hear that we've used and are continuing to use. And that shifts you from this place of stuckness that you may be at and helping to get to your goals for the year and move you on toward greatness. So, Nicole, what's going on, friend? I always like starting with that because this is a conversational podcast, guys. This is not scripted. This is just us showing up and continuing to show up both in our lives for you all, but more importantly, honestly, for each other. This is you getting a backseat in a behind the scenes into the friendship between Nicole and I, which has been flourishing and blossoming. I don't even, you know what? When I counted the years, I didn't like the number. I said, that's a big number. That's a big number.
Yep.
2008.
2008.
That's bananas. Is that bananas to you? Bananas to me.
It is. It's been a journey. It's been a journey. What is happening right now? I feel like the beginning of February, I kind of got comfortable, and I needed a client. Well, he's now a former client, right? I needed a client to remind me that it's not good to be comfortable and you should always strive for your best, right? So in the very beginning of the month, I had gotten a customer that said, "Hey, I need to downsize. My house is too big. It's only me. I want to sell my house and buy another house." And at the time when I took the call, I was busy. I had a lot going on, but I took it anyway. And I said to him, "No problem. Let me do some research and I'll get back to you." And I took longer than normal to get back to him. When I did get back to him, he didn't answer my phone call. He didn't answer my text. And so I'm thinking to myself, for those of you that don't know, I am a realtor. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, he's not serious. He's not really ready. He doesn't know what he want to do. I don't think I should waste my time, right? And with the current brokerage that I'm with, what they do is when we get leads from them, they call the lead to make sure that we're keeping up our end of the bargain as realtors and we're doing our jobs to best service our clients. Well, it wasn't horrible, it wasn't harsh, but he was just like, you know what? She didn't answer me in the time that I needed her to answer me. So I went with another agent. Is it true? Is it not true? Doesn't matter. I didn't service him in the time that he needed me to. Now, it's for me, sometimes I'm like, people have to understand that I have children, I have a husband, I have a life too, I have a lot going on, right? But it's little things that could have probably been done to rectify that situation before it got to the point where it's like she didn't service me at the time that I needed her to, right? If I said to him, "I'll get back to you in a few hours," I could have texted him anyway. If I couldn't do the whole research that I needed to do, I still could have sent him a text message and said, "Hey, I'm still looking into this. I need a little more time," right? Or I could have asked him a question. "How soon are you looking to move?" Right? "What updates did you do to your house?" I could have sent him maybe something small, like another house that was on the market near him that's comparable to his, right? Just to keep the lines of communication open instead of saying, "I'll get back to you in 2 hours," and then I don't get back to him until 10 hours, 8 hours later, right? So he reminded me that I need to stick to my word. If I'm going to use words like, "I'll get back to you in 2 hours," I need to stick to that. Don't get comfortable in your situation. Like something that I've prayed for a long time when I first moved here into Florida was, "God, I like to help people. Show me how I can help people." And I was doing all the things. Like I would meet people at the pool and I would help them with something, or I would meet people on the block and I would help them with something. And then it became, "God, I want to help people, but I need some money too. So show me what the next move is," right? And I got into real estate. And now that I'm here and this is my third brokerage that I'm with, and they keep me working. All of the other brokerages that I were with, they were like, "All right, this is how you do it. You find your own clients and you make it happen. We can answer any question. This particular brokerage is like, "Here, take the clients, take some more, take them again, figure it out and make it happen. We're here to answer any question. But here's all of the clients." And I'm like, whoa, no one's ever given me clients. And so I absolutely love them for that, right? Like they give me all of the clients that I need and I have to figure it out. And this particular client reminded me that I can't take that for granted. If they're going to give me the clients, I have to hold up my end of the bargain and service them, right? So as far as things that are going on right now, I am working on making sure that I am giving my best self to these folks. And I am using all of the proper words to make sure that I can keep up my end of the bargain. So I don't use words like, "I'll get back to you in 2 hours" anymore. My verbiage is, if I know that I cannot do it, my verbiage is not as specific. um, so I definitely try to make sure that I'm putting myself forward because this is something that I prayed for. This is something that I asked for. I love helping people, and now God has shown me how to help people and get paid at the same time. And it's just a joy for me. Why I do it? My why is because I love to help. I love to help. I think I'm joyful when people are like, oh my goodness, no one else has taken the time out to pour into me. No one else has taken the time out to help me. I like that feeling. I like the feeling of being able to help people, being able to bring people peace, bring people joy, you know? That is a big part of my why. Money is another part. Don't get it twisted. But being able to just help and educate people is a big part of why I do what I do and why I take the time out to send out a text message or send out an email because I want to make sure that you are making educated, informed decisions about what you're getting ready to do, whether it's to buy a house or to rent a house or to stay where you are. Like I've had clients where I was like, you know what? Now is not the time to buy. You bought at a very high time. In order for you to move, you're gonna need more money and you're not gonna get it out of this house. So I have said to people, it might not be a good time for you to list right now. And people appreciate when you're upfront and honest with them. When all you're doing is looking for a paycheck, they see it. They see it. So my prayer all the time is to God, help me find the words so that these people know that I'm sincere and genuine and I am trying to help them and I'm not only looking for a paycheck. So that's what's going on. What's going on with you, girl?
Well, I think that's probably why we get along so well. Because at the end of the day, like I heard a lot that you just shared, and what I saw the most was just the fruit of the spirit. Like that is literally the joy, the peace, the patience, right? The perseverance, because
Mm-hmm.
it's a lot of perseverance to walk someone through the whole buying and selling of a home, right? This is one of probably the largest purchases they're ever going to make in their lives. I'm in a similar place where not gotten so much comfortable. Nicole and I met in college, both studying to be teachers. Neither of us are teachers currently.
I know.
um,
Not really.
Nicole, we're educators, right? We educate people
Yes.
in our industries. Nicole educate and has been educating people in terms of home buying and insurance for quite some time. And I've been educating folks in storytelling. Initially started with learning social emotional development with high schoolers, and so now it has shifted to helping women neurodivergent. So whether you struggle with mental health disorder or you just think differently, right? Maybe you have a super busy schedule and it causes you to have a lot of compartmentalization, which prevents you from getting all the thoughts, all the feelings, all the ideas out at one time. I help women share their story, and usually it's through a published book, right? And so, storytelling, helping people share their story, that's something that I help educate people in. But one of the things that I feel right now, and again, this isn't scripted, guys. So we're just sharing what's happening with us and allowing you to kind of be a fly on the wall. I've gotten a little comfortable because in the 1 month that I was transitioning from full-time high school teacher to full-time entrepreneur, I took this challenge. It's a 10-day challenge to make $10,000 in 10 days. I did not make that goal. I did not reach that goal, but it gave me a mindset shift that I can make money. Like I can make money whenever I needed to. And I don't think I ever believed that. Like I knew it was true, right? In the back, in the subconscious, but I never acted on it. I never approached the day with the thought of, I can make money whenever I need to. Whenever I want to, I can make money. I didn't think that because I had been a worker bee, right? And so worker bees, you get paid twice a month, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bi-weekly. Idea that if I want to make $1,000 today, I can go do that. Like that was just like, what? That's crazy. You can't do that. Who are you? Who are you? Like, who gave you permission to be out here making $1,000 a day? And so I took this challenge, 10K, 10 days, and I made $1,800. Now that may sound super insignificant, But $1,800 was what I was making monthly all of 2024 in my business. So I left teaching. I ain't gonna tell you my business too much. Y'all don't need to know how much we get paid in New York to teach, but let me tell you, it's some good money. It's some real good money. It's so good that people don't leave. They die teaching. They don't leave. But I was only making 1,800 a month in my business, and I decided to go all in on my business and leave teaching. And in those 10 days, I made 1,800. So in the month of January, I made 3,600, which was double what I had made the entire every month of 2024. Why am I sharing all these numbers and things? Because I got comfortable beginning of February myself. Because once I did that 10K and 10-day challenge, I say, you know what? What if I just tried to make, I don't know, like 24K in 24 days? And so now this is a bigger goal, a little more time, but that mindset of I can make money whenever I want to. Well, let me tell you, people, I landed like 2 clients and about to close 2 more. And I've already made my monthly salary as a teacher for the month of February. So I feel like chilling. I feel like relaxing. Like, all right, mortgage paid. We good. Like, let me. I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna take a vacation. Like, go sleep. Like, that's how I feel.
Yep.
Right. And so
Mhm.
because I've never had this opportunity, I've never had this freedom to make as much money as I want to make whenever I want to make it. So that, right? And so the so that is really what I want to get to. Why do I do what I do? I come from a very interesting family with a lot of colorful characters. And one of the things that I started doing from an early age was observing how people moved and determining and deciding how I would move based on how they moved. But what that does is that stifles your imagination and your creativity, because the only thing that you have to use in terms of your decision making power is what you see. And so my ability to think outside of the box, my ability to really believe and trust in my own abilities to do anything, it was almost stifled. I didn't feel like I had a voice when I would talk. I would say really wild things. Because I heard wild things and I repeated wild things. So I was often told, like, be quiet, you too much, shut up, sit down somewhere, like nobody wants to hear that. And so when you hear that as a child, you start believing these things. And so I grew up like I have these thoughts, I have these ideas, I have these dreams, these goals, these visions, and I'm gonna keep it to myself because I don't want to be too much. I don't want to take up too much space. And I don't know how many of you hearing this like can relate to feeling too much, feeling like you're taking up too much space, feeling like whatever you have to offer or give, it's not good enough. And so that is how I grew up. And there was a shift that occurred around 2022, 2021, right before we started this podcast, where it was like, wait, hold on, pause. We can be whatever we want to be because we have Jesus? What? Like, wait, hold on, pause. Wait, are you telling me that because I have the Holy Spirit dwelling in me, that all dominion on heaven and earth has been given to me because I'm a co-heir with Christ? Like, what? Whoa, hold on, hold on. So the only limits that exist are the ones I put on myself. Like, it was an awakening, and so began this transformation and this journey to the space that we are in now, where Nicole is, I don't know if you want to share, or I'm gonna share. Nicole is attempting to close a certain number of homes in a certain number of time so that she can spend an entire month loving up on her family, right? And just really pouring into her children. I am really working on doubling each month what I made the previous month so that when my kids are out of school, her kids get out in June because they in Florida. Mine don't get out really to the end of June. So you talking about July, August, right? Like my intention and my goal is when they're out of school that we are engaged in things together. Not that I honestly, I have workshops and client calls and events that I will be doing from now probably until June 12th, June 19th. And after that time, I literally have nothing else on my calendar. I'm not saying I'm only going to work half the year. I'm not saying that. But I have not made any plans in the summer while my kids are off so that I can pour into them. Now, this is Nicole and I, we didn't talk about this. We did not talk about our goals and all these. This is the first time that she's hearing my plans and my thoughts. It's the first time like I heard hers right before we got on the podcast. But God has allowed us to be in these positions where we can serve others, we can help people do the thing that we feel called to do, get paid well for it, and still serve, love, and pour into our families and our communities, right? Like it doesn't have to be and or. It doesn't have to be money, 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 or family, family, family. Like, no, if you are a believer, a worshiper of the true and living God, there is room
Hmm.
because there is balance. And so when that balance is lacking, that's when the frantic and the scarcity mindset and the overwhelm and the overworking and the neglecting, that's when that occurs, when there's no balance. And usually there's no balance and there's no blessing and there's no abundance because you've removed the prince from the Prince of Peace. Like you want the peace, but you remove the prince. Like I don't understand how are you right? And so this can shift a whole bunch of ways in direction of this podcast, particularly right here. But really just understanding the why. We didn't get to where we are because of a magic pill that we ate or drank, right? Like we didn't get here because of the power of our bootstraps and ingenuity and hard work. Like Nicole just shared to you, these doors open because she put them in the hands of God. She prayed. When she prayed, God responded. And if she wasn't aligned and attached to the vine, she wouldn't have been able to see where the hand of God was moving. She couldn't see that if she wasn't connected, right? When I've tried to leave education, I've tried, listen, the last 4 years, I've applied to more jobs in the last 4 years than I think I've ever have in my entire working career. And I've been working since I was 16 and been told no so many times because that is not where God wanted me. I prayed, God, I want to leave it. He's like, all right, leave. And I'm like, all right, and I'll apply to jobs. I didn't know he wanted me to leave and like go do my own thing. Like that wasn't a thought. It wasn't a thought. It wasn't a thought. And then 2021, 2022 hit, and I was like, Nicole, how you leave New York? How you do that? How like how you do that and how are you living? Like how are you able to be present for your kids? How are you able to provide for your family and show up and be PTA president and like, be the one on the block who all the kids want to go to their house because it's always fun and she's just hospitable and like how are you how and so I asked, I was like, I don't know how you're doing all these things. But I would like to learn. And she's like, oh, well, I have an Etsy store and I have these vending machines. And she's telling me all these things she was doing. I was like, well, I don't want to do all that. That's a lot. I don't want to do all that. But she did what she needed to do so
Hmm.
that she can pour into her family. So she can be present with her family. And I was like, oh, I want that. I gotta figure out how I can do that. I want to do that too. I want to the present with the family thing. I want to, how do you do that?
Hmm.
And it's community. Like she just shared about the different brokerages that she's been a part of. I've been part of different communities. I just joined a mastermind at the end of January, end of January, the 10K and 10-day thing I did. I joined a mastermind. And this mastermind, let me tell you, I've been in masterminds before where they say, here, we'll answer any question you have. We will, right? If in here, take this course or do this module or here's how you get clients. We ain't giving you no clients, but here's how you get them. Here's what you should do. Go do that. Go try that. And I'm just like, okay, but I don't have the right mindset to be doing any of this stuff. So, like, I tried it for a little bit, got scared, and then I stopped. And then I tried it for a little bit, and then I switched courses, and then I switched avatars and who I served and what I served them with and what I provide and what my offer. I just kept flipping and flipping and flipping, like pancakes, just flipping, just flipping. And this particular mastermind, the first thing they said was pick one person to serve them well, and you serve them with one thing, one person, and I want you to double down. And I was like, one thing, one person? Oh no. Like, but I have so much to offer. What
Hmm.
do I do with all this other stuff I got? God, like you gave me the stuff. What do I do with the stuff?
Hmm.
And I was like, all right, I've tried this mastermind thing. I've tried this entrepreneur thing, this online business thing. I've tried all these things and they don't work. This is what my conclusion I came to was they don't work. And I said, you know what? I'm going to trust. I'm going to trust and I'm going to pray because God told me to leave my job a while ago. I've been disobedient and now I've left. And now I'm into this new community of people and
Hmm.
it's a mixed community. There's people there who brand new to business. There's some people there who are already making six figures. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm just going to learn from everybody. Because I think that's how you do that. And the craziest thing happened when I actually listened to advice. It was the craziest thing, Nicole. The craziest thing occurred. I started seeing progress
Yep.
because it wasn't this theoretical thing. It wasn't right, like, oh, this is how it works or this is how it's done. It was, no, you should do this.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I should? They're like, yes, you should do this. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, you know what? You know what? You know what? I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna do this. I'm gonna do the thing that I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna see what happens. Let me just try it. Let me try it and see what happens. And what is happening is in 15 days, making my entire month's salary from teaching in the 15 days.
Right.
Um, so what does that mean? Does that mean everybody needs to go join a mastermind? No. I think one, you need to figure out your why. Figure out why you doing this in the first place. Like if you're stuck writing your book, why are you writing this book? If you're stuck in your marriage, okay, well, what is it that you want out of this marriage? And are you
Right.
looking at the right places to get these things?
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're like, oh, I want to feel fulfilled, I want to feel loved, I want to feel enough. Like I'm just telling you from one married woman to another, you ain't gonna get that from your husband. Because that
Right.
is a God-sized hole that you're trying to fill up with a man. That is a God-sized hole. And again, 30 minutes of power. We gonna go somewhere everywhere on this podcast. But if you are trying to fill up the God-sized void in you with a man, even if it's not your own, if it's not your own man, just stop. Please just stop right now. But if it is the man that God has blessed you to marry, that's not his job. That's not his job. I'm so sorry. Boo boo, that's not his job. And so if you feel stuck, there's a way to get unstuck, and that's by having proper expectations on people. And that is an unrealistic expectation that you don't have in your husband to feel every single void and source of emptiness that you feel in your entire life. No, that is not his job. If you feel stuck in your parenting, like these kids don't listen to me, well, what is the example that you're setting? Who are you listening to?
Right.
And so your kids they will very, very much be the mirror in your life. And if you are doing things on your own accord, on your own strength, if you're being um, lazy and disobedient to people in authority in your life, I mean, your bosses, talking back to your bosses behind their back, going to work late,
Mm-hmm.
saying crazy, nasty things about your husband, like, and your kids are sitting there listening and watching you, and then you're like, they are so disrespectful. I wonder where they get it from. I wonder where they get it from. What example are you modeling for them?
Mm-hmm.
Where are they learning these things? Because these are learned behaviors. Children don't
Yep.
pop the womb nasty mouthed. Like these are learned behaviors. And so the why. Why do you want things to change? If you know why you want them to change, then what are you willing to do to make that happen? Are you willing to submit your will to someone else's? Now, one day Nicole gonna share all the struggles and the strife and the woo she been through. Girl, praise Jesus. Her faith makes me faithful. I'm very serious, people. Like there's some things y'all will never know, and y'all need to know. But here's what you do need to know. You need to know that if you understand your why and you put that why into God's hands, He'll take care of the rest. I am very clear now on the why. And once I submitted that why to Jesus, 2025 just started, but it has already been such a difference in the way that I show up, in the way that I'm even looking at life. It is such a difference. Like I said, I've wanted to leave my job. I put in my, what, 30 days notice at the
Mm-hmm.
end of December, right after Christmas, December 30th. And I told Nicole, I was like, girl, I did it. I sent in my resignation. She's like, ah! She's all excited. She was excited. I'm panicking on the inside, like, but you need to put yourself in a community where you share the things that God put on your heart. It's met with celebration. It is met with rejoicing. It is not met with judgment. It is not met with ridicule. It is not met with all the shoulda, woulda, couldas of why you should not do this thing. Definitely, if people ask questions, yes, have them in a position where they can sift through your heart
Mm-hmm.
right? And help you really figure out, like, is this something you really want to do, or is this fear, or like what is the why behind this decision? But in terms of the why behind why I stopped teaching and why I now am engaged in this is bigger than just, oh, I don't like teaching children. God has blessed Nicole and I both to be educators.
Yes.
And we are educators in every space that we enter into. She educates people on home buying. I educate people on book writing. And we both educate our children because God has blessed us with them. And that is our responsibility. It's not the schools. Just so we're clear. Like some of y'all jucking and jiving, trying to get your kids in the best school districts. Like that's cool. That's cute. But at the end of the day, y'all the ones gonna be called to task for how y'all raise them shorties.
Mm-hmm.
You get to the pearly white gates, God gonna be like, well, you sent them to charter school instead of public school, so come on in. Nobody's saying that. No, ain't nobody saying that. They go, hey, what did you teach your children? What did you teach them when they were under your roof, so that when they left, right? That's Deuteronomy. That's Deuteronomy right there. Train a child in the way they should go, and when they old, they will not depart. How'd you teach them? What example did you show them? Even if you were in church.
That's the question.
Even if you're in church, even if you are serving the Lord in a house of worship in your community, even if you are a deacon or a deaconess, even if you teach Sunday school every Sunday, even if you are doing these things, I just want you to be aware that there is still a opportunity and a possibility that you are not right with the Lord. And so this entire book, you knew a book was gonna come up at some point, people. You had to know it before she knew Jesus. This book is about women who are already in church. We were not sharing stories about, oh, before I came to know the Lord. No, we knew the Lord. We were in churches. We were serving the communities that we were in. We were, Bible study classes, youth group. We were doing all the things.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not living properly. We were shape shifting. We pretended to be one thing in front of one group of people, another way in front of another group of people, and or some of us had stifled the power of the Holy Spirit in our lives to actually create change, lasting change. And that's change whether you are in church and hiding your drug addiction, or you're hiding your alcoholism, or you're hiding your porn addiction, or if you are in church and hiding the fact that you struggle with same-sex attraction. Like we gonna call it out, right? There were women who I had the blessing to co-author this book with who were struggling in so many areas. If I even named them all, that would be an entire different like a whole nother podcast just for the different stories and walks that are shared in this book. But I'm sharing all that to say, if you do not understand your why, and if you do not give that why to Jesus, you cannot be surprised by the fruit.
Right.
Nicole is one of the most lovely people I've probably ever met in my entire life. Her ability to love and to give and to serve and to share freely. I've been trying to get her to monetize all the things that she does for years.
I remember the first time you told me that we were going to charge people. I was like, what are we going to do? We're going to what? Wait, can we do that?
Yes, we can. Yes, we did. And yes, we will continue to do so. Yes. Right, because this, even though Nicole was not a real estate agent at the time, when she was living in New York, she was helping people make
I
with
was.
home buying decisions
Yep.
for free. And I was like, what is happening now? Like, this is the whole industry now. And so
I
we got it right. It's good. It's cool. Because here's the thing, people. You can do things for God and still get compensated and it not be messy and it not be nasty and it not be unrighteous or unspiritual. It is still possible to be compensated for doing a good day's work while serving the Lord, right? It is possible. And so I think we have to commit our whys to Christ. Like we give our whys to Jesus and let him tell us what we're supposed to do.
Yep.
I'd say 4 years, 4 years. I say, man, what? How ain't nobody hiring me, God? Like, what is happening? Like, I can't get it. I can't buy a job. Like, I was like, McDonald's is looking good right now. Like, it's looking good. I could do that part-time and then like I just work like in between like when my kids is at school. Like I'm serious. I was like, what where can I go?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I can make a little money on the side while I build up my business. And the Lord was like, clearly you ain't giving me your why yet, and that's why you having these crazy thoughts. Not that there's nothing wrong with working at McDonald's. Do you need to do? Take care of your family, do what you need to do. But
Mm-hmm.
that's not what I was called to.
Right.
I was called to entrepreneurship, like in entrepreneurship in a way that glorifies God. Because I think that's something that's lacking. The worshiping and honoring God with your first fruits, with your actual labor, with your work, and not be a minister. Am I ordained? Yeah. I can go work at a church and yeah, sure. That's not what I was called to. I was called to preach and I was called to teach in a different way. And I honestly believe that every client that has experienced being served by Nicole has felt the love of Christ. They've known something different about this one. I don't know what it is. I can't point to it. I don't know. Something's different. And when you are serving your client, serving the Lord, and you wear the same hat in both of those environments, it is very evident when you're walking with God and when you're not. It's one all around a mulberry bush. But here we are, and we're continuing to grow, and we're encouraging all of you who are listening to this podcast. If anything's resonated with you, we please encourage you to like, share, post about it, right? Tag us if you feel like you have figured out maybe the next best step that you can take to help you get unstuck from this conversation. We love to hear about it. We love to just walk alongside you on your journey. And it's 30 minutes of power. Thank you again for coming. Come back next time.
Bye.
Join me the last Sunday of every month for my live writing masterclass. Now, this isn't just another class. It's an interactive space where you finally gain some clarity on your book and help you break through some mindsets that are blocking you and get the roadmap to actually start writing. And as a bonus, when you register, you'll get a free 20-minute coaching session with me after the call. Spots are limited. Don't wait. Click the link in the show notes or scan the QR code to sign up. Let's get your book out of your head and onto the page. I'll see you then. Thank you for tuning in to 30 Minutes of Power. We hope you found today's episode informative and inspiring. To stay connected with us and continue the conversation, follow us on Instagram at 30 Minutes of Power or email us at azironsharpensiron@gmail.com. Don't forget to visit our website at azisi.org to learn more about our mission and how you can get involved. Remember, your power can make a difference in the world. Let's be folks out there using our power to empower others.
30 minutes of power.